Your items are shown at the bottom of the roster. Drag items onto your units to equip them. Items can only be equipped by characters of equal rank. Promote your units to equip higher rank items. So the item rank is kind of the way that they gate super powerful items in this game. But for most of the combats, I think you'll find that we're going to stay pretty much within the range of the items we can get our hands on anyway. We will spend our 5 renown to level up Rook. What are we going to give to Rook? I think I'm going to give Rook... Just give me full armor, because since you're... Hear me out, right? Since he's an archer, if we can really take advantage of that extra range that we get early from him being able to fight at a distance, if he can get in 2 shots before they're close, that's 6 armor, 8 armor if we juice it with his willpower. And at that point, you know, if you've gotten him set up with an 8 armor strip and then someone else takes a crack, like dunzo. At that point, they don't have enough strength to even hurt us. Same thing. I think same thing on Ivor here, because he already has really impressive armor and strength. The only thing that's maybe worth thinking about putting up before armor break on him would be chain, so we can make like some bigger moves around the battlefield. But I think that that's really just too helpful. Oh, there's a little lore blurb about everybody. Rook. Rook is a skilled hunter from a long line of woodsmen who have lived in Skogar, though none of his family have survived the long, hard winters of the north. Since childhood, he has been close friends with the town's resident Varl, Ivor. His talents quickly landed him the position of Huntmaster of Skogar, and Rook wrestles with wanting to teach his daughter Alette to become a self-sufficient woman while also keeping her safe from harm, something he was unable to do for his wife Aldous years ago. And then Ivor here. When Skogar was still young, Ivor wandered into the town's center, startling the settlers from Rundwall, who had rarely seen a Varl before. He's never said why he left Varl lands to help men build a small town, but each chieftain in Skogar's family line is happy to have him. He's known Rook since the man was young, and the two formed a fast friendship. All right. At the market, we can buy what? Yeah, so like 1 armor per turn. This is a level 4 item. So for someone who like gets hit, if you can get them back out to safety, that's filthy. Obsidian powder, knockback. So you would knock back your enemy if you did strength damage greater than 4. Some of these are really impressive. Narwhal horn, +1 to break. For 2 renown, huh? +1 will per kill. Yo, flat +1 break is pretty nasty. And then this is what? You can buy supplies with renown. Yeah. 45 supplies available, 1 renown gets 3. I'm okay with not doing that. I do think we're gonna go ahead and throw this. So this means he should have an effective break of 5 now, which like, that's filthy. He's gonna stampede through dudes. Rook, thank the gods you've made it. The Great Hall is in an utter din, filled as it is with dozens of terrified families. Don't stop worrying yet. I haven't. What in the depths is going on? Dredge milling around? Ransacking houses? The chieftain's wife finds you, pushing through the crowd. They must know we're here. Why haven't they attacked? I love the artwork for Orlif. Don't know. I wouldn't expect it to last. I've made some decisions, but tell me straight, what would you both do in my place? I'd have left by now. They're already outside the doors. Not so easily done. Rook? I mean, Ivor's the only one of us that's fought Dredge other than me this morning, so I'm gonna go with I trust Ivor on this. Chieftain sighs a deep, heavy breath, slumping. He looks years older. I imagined us fighting back and saving the town, but... Nonsense. Ivor's right, of course. We can't just wait to be slaughtered. Where do we go? If Dredge are coming down from the north, Frostviller, to the west. It's close, and it has walls. I intend to be free of Skogar in one push, nobody left behind. I wouldn't. If they follow us, we're done. What do you suggest? Let me create a distraction, then go. I'll catch up on the road to Frostviller. What if we set the town on fire as we left? Do we abandon the storehouse? That sounds... I mean, you can't fight a whole army of Dredge, my dude. But what if we help him? Let's help him. Chieftain thinks for a long moment. I didn't ask for advice just to ignore it. Promise you're not throwing away your lives on this. That wasn't part of my plan, Ivor. Nope. Then I'm coming with you. That catches you by surprise. The chieftain rubs his chin but doesn't argue. From the training she's given Alette, you've no doubt she can handle a bow. Fine. I'll get the townspeople ready. Make your move, Ivor. We'll leave when you're clear. Love the old hold the door stance. I want Gil with us, says Ivor. If something happens to us, I need him to tell the chieftain. Ivor goes off to find him. Alette finds you. I know what you're doing. You have to let me come, she says. Don't leave me. Please, I'll be good. Yes. I will bring Alette. I promise, she says. Ivor soon finds you both. Let's go. Remember, we're not trying to fight them all. We're just getting their attention. You step into the town courtyard where you can already see Dredge in every direction. Ivor starts banging his shield and swearing at them. We kill a few, he shouts, and the rest will follow. You steel yourself for a tough fight. Oh, they didn't even give me a chance to put the equipment back on Alette. Oh, no, I can. Okay, cool. So I think it's only fair that Alette has Alette's bracelet. I know that that's maybe not tactically the best choice. Then we got who? Eagle or Egil. 1095. And then Odlif. All right, let's read their backgrounds real quick. A young boy growing up in Skogar without parents, Eagle spends a lot of time behind a battered metal shield, training to be a fighter. The few who know him well call him Gil. And then... The chieftain of Skogar was considered one of the luckier men in town when he wooed the beautiful daughter of a well-known fighter. These days, most people consider him a lucky man for marrying someone who knows how to run a town. Get wrecked, nerd. Rook's daughter, Alette, only vaguely remembers her mother, who died when she was a child. Since then, Alette spends most of her time with her father, unimpressed by the traditional roles of other girls in town. She hopes to become a hunter like her father, and in her spare time, she practices archery with Odlif, the wife of Skogar's chieftain, who has become a motherly figure to her. Pretty telling when chieftain's name is Chieftain, but his wife has a name and a bio. Just putting that out there. So you have no kills, no kills. We want 1 kill with Alette. 3. So 1 kill with Alette is really kind of the big get. And I am going to move the narwhal horn to Rook now that we have shifted the bracelet back over to Alette. All right. Oh boy. So let's put you here with the archers. I want you to be able to run right up the gut. 8. How much armor do you have? 10. Yeesh. Okay. So we want you to get in almost immediately. I know you're going to take some hits here, and that's fine. We're just going to have to cope with that. Ooh, we didn't. All right. Well, I will gladly accept such a gift. You don't attack for a while, so let's instead start chipping away elsewhere. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You can't get close enough. I can already hit you. Do 2 armor. Alright. So now you're going to get off a big swing here, but that's fine because we're going to be able to do strength damage against you next. What's your skill, Eagle? Blocks damage to strength and armor for 1 round. You know what? I think I am comfortable foregoing such a thing. So if I do 4, that'll get you to 6. I will take such odds. Ooh, he did the knockback thing. Well, it wasn't the same knockback thing that we do. 7, you have a 6. Rain of arrows. Target a tile and stun an enemy who steps in it with a rain of arrows. Oh, what just happened? Oh, I clicked off the screen and clicked the stream elements Discord server. No, I don't think we're worried about that. We'll just keep your strength damage down. Yeah, so now you're just gonna chip at Eagle. That's fine. You do 1 to him, you can do 9 to him. I mean, 9 to him's the move, right? He's up next. Basically just neuter him where he stands. Love it. Losing decent clips of armor. That's all right. Zinger there. Take a huge chunk out of his armor. So now they're going to start to duke it out, but I think they're going to be in an okay spot from a damage standpoint. So if we do 3 to you using this willpower, you're now neutered. You don't do anything. Yeah, all right. And then now we can basically just walk right past you and get in the business. 2, you do 11 damage still though, huh, homie? Yowzers. All right, we need... Yeah, if we do the extra move using a willpower here, we can get in on it. And then 2 more armor damage. Man, him and Ivor just toe to toe. I only have 5 health left with Ivor, huh? Well, listen, I think in that case, the move is to just clear that armor out fully. He's not going to move for a couple of turns, so now we just got to turn on the juice with some of our other characters and get his strength. Well, even just that one shot, I guess, is probably enough, because that's going to make it so he only does 2 strength damage. So we did say we wanted 1 kill with Alette. So let's go ahead and clean up that kill. And then I'm thinking 2 kills with Eggle, so that we can get him ready for a promotion. Because for a guy who fights front line, his stats are lacking. So this is a little gamey, but I think we're just literally gonna rest with everyone who isn't him, so that we may have him get a kill here. Whoa, whoa, we want you to move here. Beaut. Promoted. Love it. So that's an Alette promotion and an Eggo, or a Gil. We'll call him Gil. I think we're friends now. I saved him some kills. You have no problem getting the Dredge to follow. Things begin to look dicey, but you're eventually able to lose them in thick woods where they have difficulty keeping up. You climb to an overlook and wait for the caravan to appear. An hour later, Odalith is the first to spot them. There, she points to the road. As you rejoin them, you can tell there was trouble. Some people wounded, others missing. A group is gathered at the rear of the caravan. Odalith walks behind a covered figure in the open wagon. Old fool, she says through clenched teeth. Should have stayed with him. The chieftain's death hits you like a blow to the gut. You continue on to Frostviller in silence, Alette's hand firmly in your own. So that's a big renown boost there. So that, you know, obviously that's why Chieftain doesn't get a name, right? Pausing to catch your breath, you glance backward to see the caravan stretched out past the point of safety. They're spread out so far you're unable to see those bringing up the rear. We've got to pull them together, says Ivor. It'd be dangerous to stop until at least the Godstone. The path should be just ahead. Call an early stop for the day. Slow the pace so everyone can catch up. Keep a steady pace. Rally the caravan with a speech. Slow the pace so everyone can catch up. We're not going to stop, but I want the tail of the caravan to kind of come up a little bit. Give the others a chance to find us, you tell those around at the front. You beckon the stragglers to pick up their feet, eventually bringing the caravan back together. However, many curse the slower pace and the lost time. Morale decline. Shut up, jerks. Let's look at that. So cool. This is dynamic, by the way. If you look up here, it shows kind of our army strength. We have 270 clansmen, 45 fighters, 0 Vol. That's our caravan, not our hero unit. So even though we have Ivor, we don't have a Varl in the caravan. So that image you see of our caravan marching changes as those numbers change. Far enough for today, I think. After a day of misery, men and women drop their meager possessions beneath the godstone of Hridvildir. What are we doing? We just left our homes because suddenly there were Dredge. Chieftain did what I suggested, and look what he got for it. Look at these people. Somebody has to hold them together. That's you, Rook. Ooh. How am I supposed to do that? What do we do if we run into more Dredge? But you're the Dredge killer around here. But you're the Dredge killer around here. Yeah, a Varl. They want to listen to someone who looks like them. What about Odalith? Let her, if that's easier for you. What if we run into more Dredge? You mean when? I'll be honest with you. These men can't take on Dredge by themselves. I expect we'll lose 2 for every slag we take down. I love how Ivor just like, but look on this man's face. He just knows they're in for some shit. So we run. Only if you want to lose women and children. We're going to have to fight. And there are going to be deaths. Gods be damned. Why is this happening? Think of how I feel. I'm stuck nursing a bunch of weaklings. You do care. I can tell. Men are a plague on the world worse than any Dredge as far as I can tell. Chats like this are why we get along so well, Ivor. You sleep poorly, the sun forever stuck to an eternally bright sky. Before the others rise, you find yourself staring over long, low hills covered in pine. The Godstone looms overhead, the massive eyes of Hridvildir looking the same direction as you. Let's take a look at it. The weathered stone doesn't see many visitors. Not much reason to travel so far east. When hunters come through, they sometimes stop to give offerings, out of habit more than anything else, now that the gods are dead. Hridvildir was the god of hunters and of wild beasts, occasionally seen roaming the land as both man and wolf. He was always depicted in effigy with his terrible spear. You wonder what he'd think about his woods being full of Dredge now. A young girl from the caravan approaches you. I made this for you, she says, handing you a crude necklace carved from a branch she must have found nearby. Thank you for saving my mama, she says, before running back to her tent. Back at your tent, you rouse Alette, who clings to your arm until she's completely awake. Bad dreams. Eventually, the camp is broken down and it's time to move on to Frostviller. Feels like an end more than a start. We gained the Bjarkin rune, which must be the necklace the girl gave us. You know, it's interesting, right? Because these travel sequences are basically little more than like an Oregon Trail. Like, it's a very standard traveling mechanic, but these beautiful backgrounds make it so much more enjoyable. The caravan halts when a group of men appear on the trail, weapons at their feet. We've seen the Dredge in your wake, says one. We don't wish to meet them alone. If you'll let us join you, we'll show you a watering hole with enough animals to fill those supply wagons. An inherent fear of strangers raises mutters from the caravan. What are you doing out here alone? We were hunting here for food when the Dredge found our village. When we returned, he looks away, unable to finish. I mean, how can I turn him away, right? Like, I get that we're all a little bit up on our hackles, but like, they're in the same situation as we are. If you'll be no trouble, come along, you say. The men cautiously join your ranks and prove trustworthy. The hidden watering hole nearby is teeming with animals, and soon your supplies are nicely restocked. Yeah! So we get 12 fighters, whole bunch of goodies. That's what you like to see. During a rest, one of the men get too drunk and end up splashing mead in a warrior's face. A brawl erupts. Many thrown fists and a broken bone later, the instigator, Raffenstverder, is tossed to the ground at your feet, angry clansmen looking for satisfaction. His personal defenses little more than drooling mumbles. Coerce a public apology, tie him up until he dries out, laugh off the scuffle. I mean, I'm fine with tying him up until he dries out. Like, his apology is going to mean shit because he's so drunk he can barely do anything. Send him away? Let's dry him out. You grab a rope from the supplies and make short work of the sot. A few onlookers throw scraps at him, but most just walk away with a laugh, at least content that some measure has been taken. This little bush here is so cute. Hey, bud. The caravan is visibly relieved to find a small village on the way to Frostviller, with beds and fresh supplies. The locals here are shocked by the news you bring and discuss it among themselves while you set up nearby. All right, so we can talk to Gil. First things first, we do have level ups for Alette and Gil, and then what's our new rune do? 15% dodge strength. So what? That's just a 15% chance to dodge strength damage? Is that what that means? A crude medallion made from the branch of a tree found above the godstone, Kridvildir, carved with a curious rune. I think that's just a chance to dodge strength damage, so we'll throw that on Ivor. So Alette is now promotable. We're sitting on plenty of renown, so let's go ahead and commit that. What do? I am fine with a boost to her break damage for the same reason as we just discussed with Rook. And then let's put a bonus on her chain so that we can, like, what I'm envisioning is her opening move is to put her late enough in the order that she baits people in, and then she can unload with a 4 armor burst as they're getting in range of our bigger fighters that rely on strength. And then Gil, sweet Gil. What are we going to do with you, buddy? Pump up your armor. I'd love maybe just more strength on you for now. You cap out at 12 strength. Am I just supposed to boost the shit out of your armor? You're a raid master. I'm going to be real honest with you, Gil. You do not look like a raid master, my dude. By standing next to an ally, the character creates a shield wall, raising the armor of both himself and his ally by 1. This bonus remains until the raider is no longer adjacent to the ally. When multiple raiders stand next to each other, this effect is magnified, and they grant each other their own bonus. Resist 3 damage. You know what? Gil, it very much seems as he's just like built to be in the thick. I'm going to put 1 armor and 1 break on him. Because his strength number being as low as it is, I want the armor to safeguard him. Maybe, you know, the archers are going to be doing so much break. Maybe we just let him stand his ground. If we're doing our job right, he's going to get 1 turn in the rotation, because hopefully we don't have anyone fall. So really, how big a deal is his 1 extra point to armor? I'd rather have him be able to take more shots without going down. So I think that's where we stand with him. And then I do think him before Alette, because Rook can hold his own a little bit in melee. All right, let's go talk to Gil here. How's the arm, Gil? You find Iggle just outside camp practicing his sword swings. I saw you taking some hard hits out there. Oh yeah, I'm great. Well, not great considering everything that's... I'm fine. My arm's fine. It's a strong shield. It's Rook, right? I know we haven't talked much before now. How is it possible that they haven't talked much if Iggle is training to be a warrior, presumably under Ivor? Ivor is good friends with Rook, and Rook is the hunt master of the town. I'm very confused by that. But if you want, just call me Gil. All right, no, it's cool. I take it all back. That accusation was unfounded. Gil is our buddy. He just gave us the pass to call him Gil. Take it all back. Okay, Gil. I wanted to let you know that I meant what I said before about making sure nothing happens to Alette. I've never seen a shield like that. Ivor seems to think you're pretty good. I'm heading back to camp. His shield's huge. Yeah, I doubt there's many. My father made this. It's solid metal, really heavy. But I've been practicing it with it since I was a kid. I used to spend a lot of time just getting used to lifting it. He raises it up to show you. I'm pretty good with it now. It's the only thing my father had when I left. Or it's the only one thing of my father's I have left. Then when my mother died, she gave it to me before she died. Ivor seems to think you're pretty good. Did he say that? That's good. I'm trying. Never had to fight anything like Dredge before, but I don't have much else to do. And how many people get to train with a Varl? I love how most of the character portraits, they're pretty relaxing conversation stances. I love that Gil looks like he's getting ready to shank us. Like, why is your arm poised like that, my dude? Like, maybe relax. This is the ye olde version of trigger discipline. Like, maybe take that finger off the trigger, my guy. Time to chill. Just seems like I could be a help to someone. That's what I want to be. You're protective of Valette, huh? Should we give him like the father and new boyfriend talk? Well, I don't want her to get hurt. You can see his cheeks turn bright red. Oh, Gil. Don't worry, she can take care of herself too. I know, I didn't mean easy, Gil. I know what you meant. I'm heading back to camp. Stay strong. I will. Oh, and if you need something, let me know. I can do anything you need. Between you and Ivor, we're gonna be okay. I can tell. Gil believes in us. All right, let's take a look at the market. I feel like the trade for renown and supplies is brutal. I can't imagine that that's super useful unless you're really stuck. Obsidian ring for a +2 strength. Ooh, aggro. So I'm assuming that just increases the likelihood that an enemy targets them. +1 to armor per rest. So it's +1 to armor, but you have to rest to get the armor back. So by doing that, you're giving the enemy an extra turn, which is almost certainly going to yield a bigger loss to your resources than 1 armor. So this seems like an absolute wasted cost. Studded pommel is a knockback on a strength hit greater than 5. If you're connecting for greater than 5 strength damage, you're probably not worried about battlefield control at that point. So I feel like that's probably also not worth it. +2 will I can see being useful, but we really haven't run into any issues. The +2 strength is pretty good, but I mean, this costs 6. So let me see. 5 for the first level up. You get 2 skill points. So this is a bigger cost than a level up, which would get you the same bonus to strength. And you have to level twice before you can even equip it. Yeah, so I don't think any of those are really worth it. And then does this advance at the map, or what is, we're just literally going to look at the map together. We're just looking at the map together. So let's read about the town we're in. Frostfeller. Once sitting upon the bank of a wide lake, when the Nordfelling turned to a waste, the city of Frostfeller became a tattered bastion, blasted by the freezing winds that roll through the valley. Those who live here still are not known for their hospitality. I mean, I can kind of get that. And then we're heading for what? Setterland? They had such high hopes for Setterland, the new kingdom of man and Varl, they called it, rounding up anyone who yearned for land of their own. Whole clans and families took the caravans and banners to the untamed frontier. Then the Nordfelling Lake disappeared, the trees withered beneath Arctic winds, and the crops would not grow. All right. So we are going to leave, which I'm sure will trigger more story considerations. But before we continue, I am going to go refill my water bottle. So if you also have an empty water bottle, now would be a really good time to go refill it. I'm going to go do that with mine, and I will be back in just about 2 minutes. See you in a second. All right, I am back. Saw some calls for water breaks in the chat. Good decision, everyone. Keep that bottle full. Man, you just did a snack break. Also an excellent choice. All right, so we have gotten a brief moment of respite for Rook and the fleeing Skoger townspeople. Let's see what we got. Oh, you took a pajama break? That's the best break. Excellent decision. You're only just outside the village when 2 men in red approach. My name is Hogan, says one, gesturing to the other. My brother is Mogan. Many from the village wish to join you at Frostfeller. A third man, exuding rage, charges up to the group. Shut your mouth, Hogan, he screams. His name is Hulk Hogan. Now you're all nice and warm. It's a nice idea for PJ time. Yeah, everyone should cozy up. Like, think of how cold everyone in the caravan is. They wouldn't want us to be cold too. So Hogan and Mogan, apparently there's some people with beef for Hogan and Mogan. What's going on? These bastards don't speak for us. They've been trying to divide the village since you got here. True. You can keep whoever wants to stay and die. I love these two. Like, weren't even bashful about trying to alter the illustration. They are just straight up clones. One's got a scar so you can tell them apart. I love it so much. The rest of us will go with the reasonable people of Skoger. I'll have you both gutted before I let half the village desert. Behind the angry villager, a mob of armed thugs have appeared, all furrowed brows and nervous stares. You both know what will happen to the rest of us if the fields are abandoned. Nobody leaves. This guy looks trustworthy, right? This guy looks like a deep in the playoff hockey player. He looks like it's game 6 of 7. There won't be anything to tend once the Dredge arrive. Let your people decide on their own. It's not gonna be anything to tend when your Dredge arrive. What are you gonna do? Plow the fields while they're freaking hitting you with a maul? Dredge my ass. All right, this guy's lost all my respect. I don't know what the scam is this time, Hogan, but you got 2 choices. Get back to work, or I'm finally putting you in the ground. Mogan, what do you say? Thought it was unfair that he only asked me. Mogan draws his axe slowly, followed by Hogan. Despite their confidence, the brothers are significantly outnumbered. I think I make a poor farmer. Settle this yourselves, don't get involved. I won't kill men for defending their home, side with the villagers. Ivor, let's make this a fair fight. I mean, look, I'm not looking to put the people of this village down, but like, you're denying the fact that the Dredge are on your doorstep. These guys are just trying to get away before the Dredge are on them. Like, I'm not gonna let you freaking bring a mob to kill 2 dudes. So, Ivor, let's do it. Let's jump in. Ivor steps forward. The thugs hesitate. As you pull your axe, you notice that Alette is nowhere to be seen. That's ominous. Oh, they just don't want her involved in the battle. Oh, it's so that, okay. It's to make sure that you take both Hogan and Mogan into the combat, maybe? That makes sense, I guess. I'm gonna bring Hogan and Mogan up a little. Let's bring Gil. Yeah. Okay. Rook, you need 3 kills to level. Ivor needs 3. Hogan and Mogan will have 0, right? Yep. And then 3 for every... No, we still need 2 for Odalith. Okay. So the goal here is 2 for Odalith. And then maybe 2 for Hogan or Mogan. If we got an easy way to do 3 for Rook, I'm fine with that too. Not going to be upset if Rook gets leveled up. Don't really have good math on that, so we would need 2 for Odalith. And then I guess 2 for Mogan. So their stats are different. All right. Rook is a little what looking? Keanu? Oh, Keanu looking? Looks a little bit like Keanu? Yeah, I can see that. I'll cop to that. Let's do this. I think Ivor and Rook got it up top. I ain't worried about that. Yeah. Okay, I'm good with this. And then Mogan and Hogan, what are your specials? You do a shield wall. Bloody Flail, a series of strikes, each randomly attacks strength and armor. Oh, shield wall is the same thing Eagle's got. Do you have it too? Yo, my dudes! They're just gonna go up phalanx style. Watch this. These guys are gonna go ham. All right, get you in a position. And then this is exactly, it's just like in the simulations. You hit him with that big 5 armor break to open the combat. Okay, a return 4 is pretty filthy. I'm not going to try and pretend it isn't. Hit him with another 5-er. Awesome. Now, we do have way more people, so unfortunately, these guys are both going to get turns before Ivor or Rook goes again. Which is, you know, it's a little sour. I'm not going to try and pretend it's not. You'd rather it wasn't. So Bloody Flail does what? 4 attacks at 1 strength or break each, +1 per adjacent ally on last hit. So it's 4 attacks, does 1 strength or break on each hit, and then on the last hit, you get a bonus per adjacent ally. So if you have 1 adjacent ally, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would get 5 break. What's your natural armor break? 1. If we did this, it would take 4 damage. That would get him to 3 damage. Yeah, so we're just going to do this. That's the smarter math on that. Especially because this idiot wasted his turn to just do break damage. So now we can bring in Gil. Gil's going to take him to a 7. Okay, so they're going to start picking on Ivor a little bit here. But again, I don't think it's going to be that brutal. You have 3 health and 6 armor. Alette, what do you do for chain? You have 2? Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Alette, we're going to ignore. God, I don't know why it does that. I don't like... Oh, sweet, we can get in behind this guy. Exactly how we're doing it. So we can't kill him. That's fine. We don't want him dead just yet. This idiot walked away to go attack Rook like a dummy. They clearly have not learned anything about how this game's combat system works. Oh, you only can do 1. I was looking at Mogan's stats, not hers. Okay, that's kind of a bummer, but it's not a big deal. We'll still get him down to 1 health. So he's essentially just going to break armor and not do any good. I apologize. All right, and now we got Ivor and Rook up top. Let's bring Ivor down a little bit. I don't think it really makes that big a deal. All right, get him down to 3. Still worried about armor damage, huh, guys? I got bad news for how that's going to work out for you. Take him to 7, or do we just juice his armor? Let's take him to 7. I have a feeling he's going to wind up being our guy that's left over for pillage, so I am not upset if he is lower health. You have 3, you have 1, you have 3. You still have 8 armor. So let's bring Hogan. Hogan's the one with more armor. Yeah, all right, so we're going to bring Hogan up. Looks like Hogan's going to be the one of the brothers that gets a promotion. We'll have him take care of these 2 guys up top. And we're going to have Odlif kill the 2 at the bottom. So you have 3 health left. 9. Can I get you to 1? I sure can. So we've got him primed for Odlif to kill. Imagine being this outclassed and you're still worried about chipping away at Rook's armor. Oh, you only have the 1. I don't want... Oh, I wanted to hurt the other guy. All right, well. Derfed that up. No big, I guess. All right, so you can kill him, please. Wonderful. And then you have 7. So if we do 6 to you, that primes you. And then I believe Hogan's the first of the 2 brothers up anyway. Are you 1 and 1 now? Yeah, so we'll just do armor damage for funsies. I love that animation of him putting his axe away. That's so good. Now, don't be fooled. I know he went over and moved by Mogan, but we want it on Hogan because we want Hogan to be good for the promotion after the 1 fight. And then Gil. Yeah, sure, Gil. Why don't you go and attack for break damage? That's fine. And then Mogan, you can just break dance. And then Olaf, would you be so kind as to finish the fight? Smoked. Oh, I keep forgetting about the bonus stars up in the horn. Hogan ready for promotion. Odlif ready for promotion. Take my 6 renown and go. Thank you. The brothers thank you with wide grins. Soon, many of the villagers have joined your caravan. You scan around anxiously for Alette, who had gone missing when the fighting began. Eventually, you find her watching from afar. Hogan returns at that moment, introducing you to his son and wife, and you soon set out again. Oh boy. It's a pretty big gain. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distance since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oddleif approaches you both. Alette, I have something for you. Oddleif has gathered up the long banner from the caravan and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this about? I was hoping you'd sew up the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skogar. Come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Before you can comment, she departs. Dad, are you the chieftain now? I don't know. Oh. Well, then that means you're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Oddleif has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skogar throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in every town. I wish she were here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. The section of banner about your family is short, but Alette has been sewing in colorful designs. Why do you say that? She doesn't have to deal with all this? Dredge, leaving home, and... Why did you have to kill those men in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. I had to make a hard choice. Because the Dredge are terrifying. Every time we have to fight them, I just want to run, but I don't want to kill a person. Please. Are you mad at me? No, it's okay. You might have to someday. I'm glad you don't want to. I'm glad she doesn't want to, but like, listen, Alette, things are gonna get a little grimy. Alette smiles at this and then her face sinks again. I guess I would do it if I really had to, but do we have to? I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. Dad, I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you. You spend the rest of your time together sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skogar is your burden now. So we can talk to her, but first let's go do some leveling. Alright, so Hogan and Mogan are ready. Oddleif's ready. We now are officially at a point where our roster is too large. Are they both Thrashers? They are both Thrashers. They're just differently stat aligned. Yeah. All right, so let's get you promoted. And then I want you to have, yeah, get you to max armor break. And then if you can do 3, so you only have 5, but if we can get some quick kills, then we can use the horn stars. That doesn't sound right. Horn stars? We can use the willpower stored in the horn. That sounds much better. To boost up your abilities. And then Oddleif might wind up being the one to cut. Because she just doesn't pack a lot of punch. I think her skill is really impressive. She's got this like chance to stun. Puncture. By standing still, this archer is able to line up shot that takes advantage of an enemy's missing armor, doing bonus damage. For every 2 points of armor her target has lost, the archer gains 1 additional strength to her attack, as long as she didn't move beforehand. This makes her especially deadly near the end of a fight or against tough opponents who have lost a lot of armor. Okay, so that does change a little bit about what I was thinking. Let's go ahead and promote her, right? So like we know we're doing that. And then how to use her skill points. Can we just leave skill points unassigned? Yeah, so we can. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with her yet. She doesn't have a very high cap on armor. Putting both of her points into chain doesn't seem terrible because then we can juice up either break or armor or strength damage should we need to. Maybe just a 1-1, right? Like I think the utility in getting break maxed out is pretty apparent, right? Like nearly every fight is probably going to start with primarily armor attacks. And if I can get whichever side gets armor low first can start doing strength damage first. Whichever team starts dealing strength damage is ultimately better protected. So like break, it's almost like a, you know, good defense is a great offense. Like more break I have, the quicker I'm reducing their strength and the more safeguarded our team is. So adding points into break on every hero kind of pays dividends the same way as if I was skyrocketing everyone's strength. In theory, I'm sure there's going to be gaps in that'll come into play as we continue to explore. How are you doing, Odd? I'm all right. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny. My father named me Odlif before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman. What does that even mean? I never cared for that expression. It means you're going to be okay. People look up to you. People look up to her. I don't know how much that is actually comforting right now. I'm going with it. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't want to be known for handling my feelings. If I feel nothing about my husband dying, people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. How big was this village that none of, like, I'm envisioning villages in like a high fantasy setting where it's like maybe 24 families and then some kind of like tertiary farmland. It seems crazy to me that none of them would have ever talked. You asked me to come find you? Yes. It's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. Your family, you should carry it. What would you have done? Why me? What would you have done? That's what I've been thinking about so much. It should be mine. I could carry it. But I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. I think they would follow you. I would vouch for you. You're probably right. I mean, I feel like they would follow her. She's not like some wilting flower. Come on, Rook. This isn't the time for pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us? I think this is what has to happen. Maybe this is what it means to be a strong... Oh, I like that line. Maybe this is what it means to be a strong woman. She looks sideways, eventually giving over a timid smile. I'm not sure if that's the dumbest thing I've heard or the sweetest. I think you know, Odd. Come on. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is, my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. Her look is so good. I almost feel like someone drew like a badass like ranger take on Elsa from Frozen. Like she looks like she could wreck house. All right, gain some extra renown. So I guess we're the chieftain now. Let's keep rolling.